Well, it's time to do this right, and every time I see you, oh, it can wait another night. And every song breaks my heart, almost nobody know we part. 'Cause I'm waiting for a sign, 'cause I'm waiting for these clouds to pass me by. 'Cause I'm falling down, yeah, I need a place to hang my head on. Nothing else has felt this right.
No one else has gone from the highest point to the lowest point.
Not that we know of. Today's the day.
We are thinking that we're going to try and get to Mount Kosciuszko.
Plan for today is to climb some filthy big hill.
I'm going to get Sue to make me a doctor's appointment in Deniliquin.
I need someone to wipe my brow.
Major tragedy last night. I put up the roller door for the garage, forgot the bike was there and drove straight in.
This is the way to travel. Now I'm a bit worried because I'm on my different bike.
The wind's really playing havoc.
35, 40 knots.
So it could get a bit of rain over here, Richard.
Come off!
It's really painful out there, I'm telling you.
Do you believe we rode 140 kilometres today?
Oh yeah, this is where the hard stuff is, fella, I'm telling you. This is a serious end of town.
May do worse. It'll do worse.
Looks like it might rain. If it does, they'll close the road, so it's possible that the boys won't make the end.
Already wet. Well, that was fun. Had all the wet weather gear, but it was all in the car and it was pointless. By the time we would have got it all out, it would have all been over, so we're just a bit damp. So, a bit of excitement to the game. So, here we are at Lee Creek. So we've made our lunchtime destination. It's 11:30 in the morning and we've only got 30 k's to go to get to Lyndhurst, and that'll be the end of the bitumen for the trip. Then it's all dirt road from then on.
Well, we've been riding for 3 weeks now. It's been a long time since we started at the top of Kosciuszko. Today we're riding onto Lyndhurst, where we'll camp for the night before we tackle the Strzelecki.
Sweating?
No, it's tears. Bit sweaty. I need someone to wipe my brow. This bike needs a lot more, doesn't it? It should need much more training, but it just doesn't quite get there. Mate, I thought this bike would have known how to ride by itself by now.
We kept riding on until we reached Lyndhurst, where we saw the aftermath of the morning storm. We decided to set up camp for the night. Now today and tomorrow are going to be quite a challenge because we've got distance we've got to cover today to make sure that we can cover the distance that we need to tomorrow. So it's no longer a matter of just getting as far as we can and being content with that. We actually have a goal today that we really have to achieve.
What was your 7th birthday wish?
To be around one day when there'll be a cure, or maybe a treatment might come before that, and thankfully I did have that, and by waking up after the transplant, I achieved that, this seemingly impossible dream. Because I believe that when the self-belief begins, so does a journey towards my goals and dreams.
you guys travelling? Oh, we're just hopping back on dirt.
Few rocks?
Yeah, it's not the rocks, it's just all the jarring. Yeah, the jarring, all the little tiny potholes. This is a smooth bit, but it's alright. We're travelling along 25 k's, so if we can keep this speed up, that'll be great. Nowhere near as bad as the road into Menindee.
Yeah, less than 2 days. It'd be good to get today over and done with. I'm really keen to get as close to Lake Eyre as we possibly can today, because I think tomorrow probably we will have a very early start, just Richard and I by ourselves.
As Mark said, we've set ourselves a pretty big target today of riding 120 k's on dirt, so we can set ourselves up for the big push to Lake Eyre tomorrow, and so far it's all going to plan. I think today vindicates our decision to not go on the dirt from Yunta to Lee Creek, because that would have meant about another 300 k's of this sort of stuff, and this is supposedly good dirt road, and to do another 300 k's of this before we even got to here would have been yeah, quite soul destroying.
I'll leave you out the bike. Here we are, 2 kilometres from Maree. Sorry, yeah, 2 kilometres from Maree. I got my first flat in the entire trip. I need the other bike, Bryn. Yeah. 2 k's before Maree, and I want to do the hop trip without a flat.
Mark ended up changing bikes and prepared it for the dirt before we pushed on to stop for lunch in Maree.
You will ride this afternoon?
No, quite easy to say we will ride this afternoon. Saying it and doing it could be a separate thing though.
Do you feel like getting back on your bike?
No, I'm absolutely knackered. Absolutely knackered.
Richard, you seem eager.
I'm eager to get going, but I don't want to. I'd rather sit here in the Maree Hotel for another 2 days. The further we got, the softer the sand became. The bikes became harder and harder to ride and very unstable.
I'm going to try something. I don't know if it'll help. I'm going to go in front of you, and maybe my wheel tracks will soften down, pack the earth in, and you may find that a bit easier. I'll give it a try.
Now, can you get onto your GPS and tell us how far away this campsite is?
You've got about 20 to go.
So yeah, that's what Sue reckons.
That's what Sue reckons as well. Okay, that's as near as I can say it.
Well, if it wasn't for the fact that we were so close, it would be completely mind-numbing.
It was amazing. As we looked out, there was absolutely nothing. Kilometre after kilometre after kilometre, it was just red dust.
The Australian, if not the world-renowned dog fence, which stretches from far up in Queensland way.
I think so, yeah.
Right across to
the Great Australian Bight.
Great Australian Bight.
We were only 2 kilometres out from the campsite when we hit sand. It felt like it was going to take forever.
four-wheel drive. This will pack it in for you.
It's just too hard.
When Richard and I were in the desert on the desert trek, we found a teardrop from an eagle and we all boiled the billy from it. That's how tough things were in the desert on the diabetes desert trek, not this wimpy bicycle. Well, there you go, I've been told. I've been told! Ha! Oh, that's the end of the friendship.
Spending too much time talking.
Yeah.
So I thought we had a couple of hard days sort of a few days ago, but nah, today was the hardest day because we did 35 kilometres and it was all on dirt. So for us to do sort of 10 kilometres was just seemed to take, you know, an hour or more. So it was really hard, really hard going. Your whole body just really just rattles and shakes and shakes. I mean, the bike is just making this incredible noise of the chain slapping against the frame, and the gears aren't working properly because it's just full of sand and dust and gunk. So yeah, it's pretty. I mean, the bike's struggling, you know, and I'm struggling. For me, it's not so much of a personal thing. I mean, I'm that sort of person who will get there and I go, yep, well, that's great. I know when I did Diabetes Desert Trek, I took hundreds and hundreds of photographs, and I've never looked at them, never seen them, never gone back and looked at them. I don't go over it. I think for me personally, the achievement will be raising the awareness of cystic fibrosis in Australia with young Australians, and raising the money for research. That's where I get my buzz.
Seeing Lake Air, get out the traditional boat.
One of the highlights was we were asking the boys where they were. The truck driver asked what they were doing and donated $100. That's the sort of generosity that we've encountered all the way along.
We're walking the last day for the ride. Last day for the ride, and it's chilly at what, 6 o'clock?
It's about half past.
Half past, we better get on our bikes.
Yeah. Oh, let's do this.
The last time.
See ya.
See ya.
Just having a rest, guys?
That's been interesting. We even managed to spend some time on the bike.
Did you have to walk it?
We've had to walk probably 300-400 metres in total. Up here it's not too bad. It's very corrugated, but what we found is because we pushed so hard yesterday, we've got time, and now we can just take our time and just get through it.
Carry on, sailor. Gosh, windy out here. My old troubles back. Sore nipples. Now I know how the girls feel after they've had a bit of breastfeeding. Which I wouldn't mind a bit of breast at the moment. Actually, Rich and I have come up with a new concept. I think what we're going to be able to do is going to do the Summit2Salt girly calendar. And what we're going to do is we're going to start again
but with some really, really hot chicks, right? With, you know, little G-strings and stuff on the bike seats. I've already done 5Ks, so, you know, there's only 36 more to go. Just so long as we get, you know, a reasonably good, I'll be happy if we get a reasonably good distance in on the hard stuff. And if it just means we've got to push and get on and off bikes perhaps for 5 or 6 Ks, well, that'd be good. But I just don't know what's going to happen. Just don't know if that will happen or not. Makes it a bit hard.
Oh, it's hard work. And now we've got the wind to cope with as well. It's so strong and we're getting sandstorms and it's glary. It's really hard to read the track, so we make up as we go along. And I don't know how far we've come because at one stage when I fell off I must have reset my trip meter, so it's all guesswork.
About 6 feet. He's staying firm. Well, yeah, he's staying firm sand. Yeah,
Firm sand. We don't want any sand at all. That's our problem.
She began to discover.
After a really hard morning, the sandstorm had died down. We decided to have our final break and rest up before that last leg to Lake Eyre.
As she sashayed through the boys' stairs.
Here they come.
But all her life she's taken in stride. And I saw him scream his bleeding heart out into the sky, and washed it all down with something a little heavy, something a little dry. And he looked to the sky as if someone had opened the door, and he screamed at the top of his lungs, what the hell is this for? But all this life I find my way through dark. But all this life I find my way through dark, through dark.
Good job. Good job.
Film crew. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Well done, film crew. We're in the lake there, Richard. Yeah, she's looking a bit dry. Looking very dry, in fact. Apparently, it only fills every 8 years or so. So, yeah, this wasn't one of the 8 years. But I think when it's full, I don't think I'll ride up here to have a look.
You ready? Yeah. For sale. Best offer. What are you feeling?
Oh, just relief. Yeah, it's been
happy.
Yeah.
Stoked.
Yeah, and I think the last couple of days we really earned the right to say that we've got here, because it was very hard work. Sorry?
It's a shame Brad, Kim, and your family, everyone can be here.
Yeah. I mean, if the people that we're doing this for could have been here, it would have been just fantastic. But that's not to be. After all this distance.
What's you doing?
Twitched my hamstring.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Come all this way without
Woke up with me, another lonely day. I've got empathy for two and a headache again. Naturally I cared about what put me on my way. Oh shit. But every step I take to the way I came.
Good on you, mate.
G'day, darling.
Oh, you bastard. So here we are at Lake Eyre. Richard and I have travelled over 1,800 kilometres on bicycles, and we've been able to have such a wonderful, super support crew. I think everybody got on well together. And when Nathan and Chris and Richard and I went up to the top of Mount Kosciuszko, we actually got some water from the very, very top of Mount Kosciuszko, very top of Mount Kosciuszko, and we figured that it was quite appropriate that we take some water from the very top part of Australia, the highest point in